Brian, you've been through a number of these games during your career at Alabama. How have you learned to prepare, maybe from your freshman year now to an upperclassman, on how to prepare for playoff games of this magnitude?
Out of the 5 years I've been here, this is my fourth, playoff experience. So, that's multiple years, just, playing at this time of the year, preparing for games like this. So, after 4 years of, playing in the playoffs, I just have a lot of experience of, practicing and just preparing for big games, such as the one we got coming up. So, it's nothing new to me, same routine. We just got to prepare as hard as we can, as harder than we prepared all season, at this moment right now.
Our next question comes from Eric Olson.
Yeah, Brian, Eric Olson with the Associated Press. I wanted to ask you just how do you kind of grade your guys' running game this year? You guys have had a lot of injuries in the running back core, and I just wanted to kind of get a feel for how you think that area has performed.
Well, in our running game, I think we've improved tremendously throughout the season. We've had lots of ups and downs, with guys, injuries, at all positions. Offensive linemen, kind of having to move around a lot, play different positions. And, with running back depth, just having a few guys, not with us, to finish out the season. We had to make a lot of adjustments as a team, as an offensive unit, to help our run game. And I feel like, we've improved a lot.
Do you have a hunch on how big a role the running game might have in this game, given it seems like so much attention is put on the passing game and the Cincinnati pass defense and so forth? It doesn't seem like a lot of people are talking about the run game. I guess, how do you think that it might figure into things here?
Well, the running game will always be important in big games like this. You need to stay balanced in the running game, in order to open up more, in the passing game. I'm sure like many people might not understand that part of it, but the running game has to work, and it has to be a key factor in our game in order to open up, the passing game for us.
Our next question comes from Johnny Cogden.
Hey, Brian. Johnny Cogden, ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. Just wanted to ask you a little about playing for Coach O'Brien. Obviously, in your 4 years, you've had a handful of offensive coordinators. Sark to O'Brien kind of the stark difference, no pun intended, just how different he is, and obviously coming from the NFL background, coaching with the Houston Texans, coaching with Tom Brady at his time in New England. How has he helped you improve as a running back?
Coach O'Brien has helped me improve a lot as a running back, just, with the way he likes to do things, like from his experience from coaching in the NFL. It's just, bringing that into our offense and just, helping me understand the game a lot more, like better as far as how I should understand it at the next level. He's just, he's been so great with just, helping us just, continue to learn, especially like new things that we'll continue to have to learn at the next level.
And then just a quick follow-up about Bryce. Obviously, he seems so incredibly poised and very humble kid. Is there something about Bryce Young that we in the media or fans at home that don't know? Is he funny? Does he do anything in the locker room? Does he cut up? Or just give us a little sneak peek behind the curtain of something that Bryce does to add to the locker room dynamic.
Well, everybody see Bryce as, as a poised, just, humble guy. And I see that too, with how he handles his business. When it's time to practice or when it's time to, step on the field for a game. But, I see Bryce, being himself sometimes, when he listens to his favorite music and he's rapping his favorite lyrics and stuff like that, just watching him be himself sometimes, he's human just like us. Like, he like to have a good time too, even though, like, many people might not be able to see it. Like, when he's on the field, it's just a different side of him.
Thank you.
Another question from Eric Olson.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up on that question about Coach O'Brien. How different was it for you guys on that side of the ball to not have him present and kind of dealing with you guys over Zoom here the last few days?
With him not being here, it's nothing new. He he's still, doing his job. He's on the Zoom. He making sure, he coaches the same way. With him not being present, there's just is more on, the players. We had to come out to practice and be prepared to practice hard. Even with us not having coach present, we know we got to do everything at a certain pace and a certain speed, that he would want us to do it at, whether he's there or not.
A lot of the defensive players yesterday were asked and talked about the Texas A&M game being a turning point for this team. You haven't lost a lot since you've been in Tuscaloosa. How was this year perhaps different in terms of what you guys did as a unit to improve going forward to not lose since that time?
And we just, we looked at the film and we had to find ourselves again, and we never wanted to feel that hurt again. So we take that to the weight room, we take that to the practice field, we take that to the film room, and continue to get better. So we don't make them same mistakes we made, to lose that first game.
It feels great. It's an honor to be here. It's a testament to all the hard work. I'm just really excited.
Again, reminder for the media, please use the raise your hand function, and we'll come to you to get your question into the queue. And our first question comes from Eric Olson of the Associated Press.
Yeah, Evan, appreciate you taking the time. But wanted to just ask you a little bit about how key you think the running game might be. It seems like all the pregame hype has been about the passing game matchup with obviously with a Heisman-winning quarterback and top receiver going against the vaunted Cincinnati secondary. Kind of how do you think the running game is going to play into this?
I believe the running game will be, equally as important as the passing game. I believe you want to go out there, keep a well-balanced scheme. As an offensive lineman, you want to run the ball. You want to put it on the hogs, as I say. So I believe it'll be equally as important.
You've had some time to look at this Cincinnati defense. What stands out about their front seven that you guys have to be mindful of this week?
All of those guys, they play well together. They're outside guys. They get off the ball really well. They do a great job of, using their hands. So I'm just excited for the challenge. This is what it's all about. I'm really excited.
Reminder for our media, please use the raise your hand function. Get your question into the queue. You've been through this several times now with the Tide. What have you learned about your process individually as a player that's helped you prepare for big games like this in the playoff?
Just to prepare, kind of not to psych yourself out. Just go about it as if I go about any other game. Just prepare and focus on doing my job to help my team win. And everything else, will take care of itself.
As a veteran with this team and going through so many big games, how do you help guys come into the program in their first year, understand what it means to wear that uniform with the pressure that comes with it, and just to enjoy the moment while getting ready to compete for championships?
Yeah, I just try to go out and lead by example, man. Especially, with those younger guys, making them understand that, what it takes to get here. And I believe a lot of those guys, they've been learning, and I'm really proud of the guys that we have in our room. Just going out there, leading by example, doing what I can as a leader. I feel like, that's what I do.
I'm just excited to get a great experience and playing a great football game. I'm very thankful. I'm pretty sure my teammates are, and I'm just excited.
Our first question comes from Owen Racer.
As you watch film on this Cincinnati defense, can you talk about what you see in Kobe Bryant and Ahmad Gardner?
I see a lot of technique. Those guys have two different styles. They like to press. They like to press Bill. I see a lot of things. Very talented DBs. It's going to be a great game. It should be a great game Friday.
You've been some big games this year, and obviously a very outstanding secondary you go against on Friday. How much do you relish opportunities like this to put your skills up against some of the best in the country week in and week out?
I kind of like that. It's just to see we're gonna come out, play football. We both go hard. So we're just gonna see like who wants it more at the end when it's all said and done. We just see like, but the competition, I love it. Like that's something I look forward to every week.
Our next question comes from Paolo Ugede.
Hey, Jameson. I'm curious if when you transferred to Alabama, is this kind of what you envisioned in terms of being in this stage, and then also what has worked for you there that has allowed you to have the season you've had?
Yes, I would say this is something I envisioned because I had a lot of plans, big plans of doing what I did, and that just was things I've been wanting to do since I was a child, dreams I've had since I was a child growing up, playing football on the biggest stage, college football, playoffs, chance to play for a national championship, and things like that. So I would say that would be.
Our next question comes from Johnny Cogden.
Hey, Jameson, quick question for you. Obviously, Coach O'Brien got in today. Can you just speak of what it was like to go through practice with a coach virtually, and just in his first year and your first year at Alabama, how has he been able to help you get to the next level? And just talk about your relationship with him, player to coach.
It was actually good going through practice. No, it wasn't anything different because he's talking to us. He's getting the same corrections over the Zoom, so everything was the same. And going through things with Coach OB this year, I feel like it helped me a lot. He has a lot of experience from being in NFL offenses and things like that. So I think he brought some of that to here and used it with our offense, and I feel like it helped me a lot. It helped me realize different routes work on different defenses, how to get open on certain defenses, routes, and pretty much everything, really.
Our next question comes from Kerry.
Okay, just got unmuted there. Hey, Jameson, thank you for taking the time. I want to ask about the transfer portal because it obviously has been something that's kind of across all of college sports, a big topic. And with you in mind and someone like Jameson Ford, you guys have really made, Jerome Ford, excuse me, you really made the most of that portal. There's a lot of criticism about the transfer portal, but for some of you guys, why does this work?
I don't know why. I feel like it works well if the person finds the right spot. But I actually don't want to talk about the transfer portal. I'm looking forward to this game against Cincinnati. Could we please talk about that, please?
Our next question comes from Eric Olson.
Hey, wanted to ask you about going through practice with Coach O'Brien being on Zoom. I mean, how's that work exactly?
We went through practice. Other coaches took over his role, so it was just like the same. We had a script and everything, but the next day we went to Zoom. He's on the Zoom. We could hear his voice. He's drawing up everything. He's talking to the O-line receivers, basically going over corrections. So that was how that was done.
Okay, so it's like you guys, his message goes through the other coaches, and then the next day you guys review it?
Yeah, well, when we reviewed it, he was on the Zoom, so we could hear his voice, and he's talking to us, and we're in a big offensive meeting,
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Follow-up question from Johnny Cogden.
Hey, Jameson, one more for you. Can you just talk about John Mechie right now? Obviously, he's not going to play in the game. He's got that bum ACL. However, I know you guys are incredibly close. Can you just speak to how he's dealing with fighting through that injury, and is he still continuing to hang out with you guys on the sidelines? Is he there with you in practice? Just talk about how he's doing currently.
He's doing good. I seen him. He's with us every day. He's still supporting everybody. He's at practice on the sideline. He's on the buses with us. He kicks it with us in the hotel. So I would say he's dealing with it very well. So I haven't seen any bad signs. He's always smiles all the time. So I would say he's dealing with it real great, actually.
Medical Properties Trust, at the very heart of healthcare.